The year 2020 has been a year of change. Global changes have included COVID-19 pandemic, which has resulted in us all having to change our ways, especially with traveling on a global scale. Cutting down air traffic has bound many to their place when the regulations came. The world is not as small or open anymore as it used to be. On a regional scale, there have been wildfires and other natural catastrophes. In societies, some people have demanded rights that they should have by default, more visibly than in years, and there have been demonstrations and confrontations in many places around the world. Individually, people have also gone through changes. Some have lost or quit their job, some found a new one. Some have faced economic challenges and some have overcome them. Relatives, family members and friends have passed away and babies have been born. Relationships have been broken and new have been formed. We haven't been able to see some people important to us physically, but we've been able to connect to them and many others via technology. Children have had to do learning outside of school context and stay away from their important social groups. Adults have had to learn working from home, some meanwhile helping their children in education. We all have faced changes of some kind this year, big or small. We face changes normally also, but this year it has been more rapid, more serious, and more visible, and more in number and ways. My name is Jani Kontkanen and you are listening to Mitä pelataan podcast. This series is called Paragons of Change. It's a series of interviews with people from board gaming sphere whom I've noticed going through changes in recent times. We talk about change and what they have changed in their lives. By default, we do not claim we state facts. We only talk from our own points of view and our opinions. As the discussion might take a negative note at times, we try to finish with a positive, by giving you a top 9 list of games. The topic of the list has been chosen by the guest, and we will have a battle of the lists after the episode airs in my social media channels. You, dear listener, are encouraged to comment and vote on the lists to see which one of us did better. The award is pride and fame among the small listener base this podcast has. Now, let's invite our Paragon for today. And this time, in the Paragons of Change series, we have our 10th guest, Matthew Jude. Welcome, Matthew.
Hello, 10th. That makes me feel like I'm... Well, yeah, it's my fault actually why it's 10th. Hello, how are you? Hello.
You're the first repeat offender in this series.
Well, you know, that's pretty good.
Has been on a previous podcast episode somewhere.
Somewhere in the annals of time. I remember doing that.
Yeah, in 2018 UK Games Expo episode. We talked on the yard.
What an expo. That was good times to be alive. Remember them? Those good times to be alive.
Yeah, let's see when's the next time.
Well, yeah.
If someone doesn't know who you are, can you tell them who are you?
Yes.
And what do you do?
It's real possible, let's face it. I am Matthew Jude. I run a podcast called This Game is Broken, which is a board game comedy panel show podcast. And I have a YouTube channel of my own under the same name. And I also work with Rodney Smith and Chaz Marlowe and Paula Deming on Watch It Played's YouTube channel. So that's what I do in the board game world. That is what I do. That's me.
All right. Do you still do Dead Last?
On Board Game Breakfast. I haven't done that in ages. I was thinking about starting doing it again, but I haven't done it in a very long time. And it always ends up on my list of things to do. The thing that I'm able to move to the next list of things to do. But I would like to do it again, but no, I haven't done it in a very long time.
Yeah, that's actually where I first saw you, and I thought that this guy has some good jokes and some very bad jokes. I couldn't decide which one, but
that's fine.
I really enjoyed those segments.
That's the first thing I ever did in the board game industry. I remember actually at UK Games Expo a couple of years before 2018, so maybe it was 2016 or something, and I went up to Tom and said like, hey Tom, would it be okay if I did some, if you take, can I go, how do you get onto Board Game Breakfast? And the last kind of thing was Tom was like, just send me a video. I was like, okay, cool, I'll do that. Yeah, it was fun.
Where did the idea come? Dead Last. Do you like the game, or do you feel like being one?
Well, no, here's the thing, right? Dead Last, it's smart. This is the thing. It's real clever. Trust me. Believe me on this. Because it's like dead last means you come last in the game, but if you're the last one to be dead, if you're dead last, then it means you won the game. So what does it mean? It's both. I was very proud of it, but yeah, it's not as smart as I think it is.
Actually, that's a good explanation.
See?
They came up with the game about the same time. This
Yeah.
Dead Last.
Oh man, I was so annoyed because I was just getting ready to send my first segment off to Tom, and then I saw the announcement where Dead Last was literally announced, and I was just, oh come on, they're gonna. Oh, it was so aggravating, but just one of those coincidences, I think.
Yeah, but from there you went to podcast to this game is broken, and you were there as a panelist while Dan was hosting it, and then you took over the show. And how is it going now?
Well, me and Dan came up with the idea for the show together.
Yeah.
And Dan wanted to host it, so I was like, cool, do that. And I do all the editing. So I was producing the show and Dan was hosting it. And then when Dan left, so I took over. I don't host every episode or anything like that, but I kind of I run the show, essentially, like in the production side, but we all are equal hosts now. But it's fun. I do enjoy doing it. I'm doing it for a long time. I'm in the middle of editing our Christmas episode, and we lost a bunch of Dave's recording. Just Dave Losers on the show just stopped halfway through, so we have to re-record it. I'm having a nightmare. Literally, before I was doing this podcast, I was trying to knit two podcasts together to make it sound like then. I've had to say, hey, this is really obvious that these are two different recordings. So I'll make an announcement.
Yeah, it's really difficult with the volumes and voices and everything, and people might sound different on different days, and it's really difficult, I assume.
So I've tried to make a joke of the fact that it's very obvious that we recorded it in two halves. And I've blamed Dave for it because it was Dave's fault, and he knows it, so it's okay.
Yeah, that's fine, as long as it's not your fault.
Sometimes it is, but at least if it's my fault, I'm the one who has to solve the problem anyway. So it's okay, right?
Yeah, and you don't have to mention it.
Yeah, exactly. I don't have to tell anyone that there was a problem with my audio because I could just pretend that there wasn't.
But well, when you began doing the show, you also began editing for other podcasts, right?
Yeah. Well, I tried to start doing that type of work because I needed some work. At the moment, the only other show I edit that's board game related is Board Games Insider, so I edit for them, but it's fine. The show's it's two people talking, so it's not the most convoluted edit in the world. I just try and clean up the audio, try and persuade them to buy new microphones every week. So I clean up the audio, and then I take out any time like Ignacy might stumble over his words, or Stephen Barnacle might shout for some reason.
Advertise too much.
Well, now he's retired. He doesn't do all his street dates every single time. It's brilliant.
Yeah, but he's advertising himself.
Yes, he is the podfather of gaming. I know it all.
Yeah, he was actually in this show also. He was still knew how to advertise himself. Oh
yeah, he loves it. He says that though. He says he'll do anyone's podcast as long as he can advertise himself shamelessly. That's his rule. So I think he tries to keep with it. Yeah, that's the only other show I edit at the moment for board games is Board Games Insider. So,
Yeah. And then you went outside of board game sphere. You began this Dead by Monsters with Paula and Nick, if I remember right.
Correct. You do remember correctly. I decided that I just wanted to do something that had maybe a higher ceiling for potential listenership and stuff. Something that's not as niche a hobby as board games. So I went with weird paranormal stuff, and it's fun. It's a lot of fun to do. It's a comedy podcast where I kind of research a topic each episode and then bring that topic to Paula Deming and Nick Murphy, and they berate me and tell me I'm an idiot, basically for an hour. So it's fun though. It's a lot of fun, and it's a lot of work because it takes about 2 or 3 days to research a topic. I mean, it comes out every week, but it's the main episodes are every other week. So it's a lot of work, but it's fun.
Is it worth it?
At the moment, This Game's Broken is still the bigger podcast, which is frustrating. But I mean, it's something I'm going to keep on plugging away with. But I've got some ideas. I've got some ideas for next year involving other projects I want to work on and stuff, hopefully. So.
Yeah, maybe the monsters are a bit niche also.
They're definitely niche, but it's like Death by Monsters kind of falls into it's paranormal and like weird stuff, but it also like an aliens and time travel and wormholes and all manner of nonsense, really. But it's kind of falls into mysteries and true crime at times, which is massive. Like as far as podcasts go, but you know, it's difficult to break into anything. Even if you assume you have a good product, it's still difficult to break into anything like that. So, but
yeah,
I've got ideas.
You need someone to promote it. Maybe you can go to a reality TV or somewhere.
Oh, good God! That's it. I'll go on Big Brother.
I didn't mean that. I meant that go to search the Loch Ness Monster or something.
Oh yeah, that's true. Maybe if I make a big song and dance about it and get in the newspaper by doing a ridiculous stunt. Oh, that's actually a brilliant idea.
Yeah, or maybe you sell the idea to Boris Johnson and he can praise it to everyone.
Well, that's true. We all listen to Prime Minister Johnson. We all think we all want to know what he has to say about it. Of course.
Yeah, but that should get you some listenership.
Oh yeah, of course. I mean, actually, do you know what? I don't know if it's going to attract the. I don't care who listens to it, but I don't know if it's going to attract my people.
That's what I thought.
But we'll see. It's a good idea.
Yeah, but come on, be inclusive. Don't discriminate.
It's true. I might try and get Elon Musk to promote it. That'd be good.
Maybe he can name the next child after that.
That's true. He might name his child after me. Or I could try and prove that Elon Musk is a lizard person, or that he doesn't exist, or that he is a hologram. I mean, all these are options for us to go into.
Yeah, that's true. Then also you do this order from Chaos. I don't know if that's still going on or not, but that you do with Dan and Mike, right?
Yeah, well, we do that, and then Mike's situation changed when he joined the Dice Tower full time, so it became harder to record. And if Dan messages me and says, Dan Hughes messages me to say, hey, let's record, I'm down. I'm doing it. I'm totally down to record. But he hasn't done that in a while because he has been really busy designing Core Request. So I think that's what he's been doing. And Mike's busy being a full-time member of the Dice Tower now. So
yeah.
But it's not dead, but it's definitely not thriving.
Or a monster didn't kill it.
It's true. It was fun to do though. We just tried to rank 5 things in order of which is best, but they are all just, it could be anything in the world, and it was fun just to argue with Dan and Mike Delisio, which is essentially what the whole show was about.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. Me and Dan, we enjoyed telling each other that we're both wrong. It's fun.
Yeah, that's a good sign of a good friendship, in my opinion. At least.
True, actually.
And when you can do that,
it's good. It's good because you can, when you can walk away and say, everything's all right, you're still wrong, but yeah, it's fun.
Yeah. And then, if I understood right, this year, this crazy year, 2020, you've had some big changes. You began this video channel, or you put up more videos. Then someone from Canada noticed that you're wearing similar clothes.
It's true.
And then wanted you to join the clan. So how did that happen, and how is it going?
So, yeah, Rodney Smith from Watch It Played sent me... Well, what happened was Chaz Marler from Paradise sent me a message and said, hey, would you and Paula be interested in working together on Paradise?
Mm-hmm.
And like bringing me and Paula on together as because me and Paula are we're kind of a team a lot of the time. So
Mm-hmm.
we he asked us both, and me and Paula had this conversation about it, and we said, what do you want to do and stuff, and Chaz was gonna like it was gonna be some paid work to do videos for Paradise. So we did that for a few months, about 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
and just did a few videos here and just some like game of the day videos and stuff, they were that kind of thing. And then Chaz messaged me and said, I've got some big news, and I said, cool, so this is ending pretty quick, but oh well, at least we give it a shot. And he said that Chaz and Rodney have been speaking for ages about not necessarily merging Paradise with Watch It Played, but kind of moving all the focus over to Watch It Played, and essentially merging, having Chaz work on Watch It Played full time.
Mm-hmm.
And he asked if me and Paula would be interested in moving over to Watch It Played as well. And I was like, yeah, I mean, in the nicest way possible. Watch It Played has 207,000 subscribers.
Yeah.
And I know Rodney already, and well enough, and he's a really, really nice person, and I already get along really well with Chaz, and obviously Paula's my best friend, so that's fine. And so we had a meeting, and Rodney was like, I want to bring everyone over onto Watch It Played and do videos and stuff. So that's been going on now for, I guess, 7 or 8 months.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a big surprise. I mean, I didn't know, but apparently they'd had a conversation about, Rodney and Chaz had a conversation about who they were thinking about, who would be good for this, and Rodney wanted to expand the channel, and for some reason they decided that me and Paula were the ones to ask. I don't know who they asked first. Who knows? Could have been anyone. But yes, that's
I
good.
think they made a good choice.
Well, thank you. But I mean, Paula's great. Let's face it. But but yeah, so it's fun. It's good. It's paid work, which is very good, and it's nice to collaborate with people. And like it's just really, really nice to have like a weekly meeting with Chaz and Rodney and Paula and stuff, and talk about the channel. We've got some really, really big ideas that we really want to do, but the world has stopped us from doing a few of those ideas this year, and maybe perhaps next year. We really want to get together and film some series of gameplay videos where it's all of us hanging out, playing games together and stuff. But it's been obviously impossible at the moment. But it's still fun. But it was big. I mean, it was really nice because I would never have asked Rodney if I could, hey, can I come on your channel and do some videos? I'd have never asked. So it was very nice to be asked.
Yeah, we were the same pattern. Will you consider me?
It's true. I believe we're in the same clan. Yeah, that's true. But yeah, between me, Rodney, and Chaz, that's a lot of plaid. So
That's true.
It's between the three of us. It's a lot.
You still need to convert Paula.
I think Paula would look great in she could just wear like a plaid skirt. She could wear a plaid t-shirt. She could do it. I've seen her in a plaid t-shirt. She's great. Looks cool. But she would rather wear dungarees and a dinosaur t-shirt, which looks fine as well, I suppose. But
Yeah, that was cool looking actually.
it was it was.
So, how about otherwise this year? It has been very interesting to you, job-wise and work-wise, board game related. But how about otherwise? How has it been? It hasn't been easy for anyone, I think. Mostly due to COVID, but there are other issues also in the world.
Yeah, it's been a bit fraught, hasn't it? It's been a bit stressful, I think, with elections and wildfires and all manner of stuff. And I've got a lot of friends obviously in California, and that's been very difficult when things were dangerous. Like I know that Nick and Mike had to evacuate, and I know a bunch of people have had to evacuate and go back home and stuff. But you know, my life hasn't actually changed that much this year. It'd been nice to get to leave the house a bit more, but So my life hasn't massively changed because my full-time work is content creation of some form or other. It's actually just been an excuse for me to not do anything social and just work instead.
Yeah, I thought that it should suit this character you've created, that you're all the time gloomy and miserable and woe is me.
Well, that's
that
exactly
you can
it.
just stay home.
That's the character I've got, so I've got to stick with it. But yeah, it's been difficult though, because there's a few things that I would like to have tried to have got done this year. I really wanted to move house this year, and I wanted to move up north, which is where Dan Hughes and people live, and I've got some friends up there.
People.
There's some people that live there, I hear. That meant to be very nice. But
So there are no people living there where
No.
you are living now.
I would not call them people around the West Midlands. And it's my home, so I'm allowed to be very derogatory towards them, everyone here. But yes, it's been difficult, but it's all right. I would be wrong if I was to complain about things. I think I would be. I don't know. I've got it a lot. As far as pandemic stuff goes, I think I've managed to. I've not lost my job. I've had more work rather than less work, right? And stuff, so I shouldn't complain about it. Don't get me wrong. I would like to be able to see my friends, and the thing I really miss is conventions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because I try to work every day so that once every couple months I can take a weekend off and then go to a convention of some description.
Mm-hmm.
And not being able to do that's been a bit difficult because it's not having anything to look forward to, you know. But it is what it is, and I'm not going to complain. And I've got my health, and no one close to me has suffered particularly terribly. So I don't know. I shouldn't complain, but it's not been fun though.
Yeah, and it seems that the situation is getting worse in UK regarding COVID.
Yeah.
But you just began the vaccinations, I think.
Yeah,
Let's see how that goes.
We had the very first vaccinations were here for some reason. Who knows why? So, you know, just give me the injection. Let's go. My opinion at the moment is just give me the injection and let's get on with it. You know, I'll be happy to do that. But yeah, we'll see how next year goes. I'm just so uncertain. I'm just so unwilling. I don't know about you, right? But I'm so unwilling to look forward to anything. I'm not allowing myself, because I know that Essen just announced that they aren't running next year.
Really?
So
I missed that.
There's no Essen. From what I understand, there's no physical Essen 2021. It's going to be digital again. But that's what they've announced, and I was like, oh, really? I really wanted to. I was like, that's October next year. Come on, but. They might do but I don't know. It might be like only people they might run just a German convention, you know, just for Germany, or maybe just for. I would be surprised. Maybe it's just for continental Europe. I could see them doing that. We'll see. But they've said they're going to just do digital. So.
Oh wow, that's interesting. But Aircon is running.
It is.
Right.
It is. I am hoping it runs in some form or other. I don't know what form that's going to take. And I'd be interested to see how it does. I know that Mark Cook will do the very best he can whilst also being safe and keeping to the lawful. So, because I love Aircon so much, it's so fun. It's my favourite British convention, and it's really great. It's a good time, but. Yeah, Aircon was the last convention I went to, and that was in, March last year?
Yeah, it was the last convention that was held.
Yes.
And Mark wanted to be the first.
Yeah, but was it WellyCon went on in New Zealand?
Who cares?
I was like, there's people posting, they've gone to this convention in New Zealand. I was like, oh, come on, don't do that. Don't post a convention in New Zealand knowing the whole rest of the world isn't doing well.
But there were some toy fairs in summer in USA. I saw some posts from some board game companies. That was ridiculous.
I think America's a slightly different mentality.
Topic.
It's a different topic, yeah. But I would like to try to go to... I want to get a PAX Unplugged maybe next year
Mhm.
in Philly. I think it's in Philadelphia, is it?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I know that if it runs, I know a lot of people are going to try and go, like industry people. So
Mhm.
people I know, so people my friends who I want to see. I know like Paul, the brothers Murph and Paula will be there, and a bunch of other people. And if I can make that happen, I will go because I'm hoping for PAX Unplugged. That's what I'm hoping for. So
Yeah,
waiting
let's
to
see. It's in the autumn, I think. So
yeah,
maybe they have enough time.
I hope so.
Yeah,
We-
let's see.
We'll see. It's just not knowing, right? I remember when this whole thing happened, and it was literally at Aircon, and it was like, "There's a pandemic. We all need to. What's happening? What's going on? Are the trains running? What's going on? Do everyone needs to fly home?" And it was such a lot of panic and confusion, and I think it's just taught everyone to maybe just wait and see what happens when it happens instead of trying to speculate, because we don't know, do we? So
Yeah. Have you attended any conventions online?
I did some stuff for Gen Con online,
Mm-hmm.
but I work for Gen Con anyway because I stream for Gen Con.
Mm-hmm.
And we did a This Game's Broken live show, which
Mhm.
was one of the top 3 viewed things in the whole of Gen Con, which we were very happy about.
That's cool.
It was ridiculous. There was like 8,500 people watching it at one point who were just like, what's going on here? This is not the... We are not... It's not... Our podcast is not that good. So that was interesting. But that's all I've done for online conventions. I didn't do anything for Essen. I've not been asked to do anything, and I've not searched it out either.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I might try and set myself up in a slightly better way to do more stuff for some conventions, digital conventions next year, if I can.
Have you played any games?
I've just not been playing that many games, let's face it.
Online or offline or both?
Online, a bit, because I've been streaming some games with Paula for Gen Con, right? So we play a different online board game every week. I've been playing Magic the Gathering Arena a little bit more than I ever have before, which I've been enjoying. It doesn't really count as a board game, but yeah, I've been playing that. And I was meeting up with friends to play The Crew. But I think a lot of these things that we all started doing was like, oh, let's meet up and play some games. Like, everyone tried to feel better and camaraderie and get everyone's spirits up. Everyone was like, this would be fun to do. We can do this for a couple of months. And it's like, no one's got the energy to carry on doing that in month 8. So I've not been playing as much as I want. You've been playing on... Where have you been playing games online?
I've been playing in Board Game Arena, actually.
Yeah.
I never played online games until this pandemic.
Yeah, same.
Now I just recorded my 195th game on Board Game Arena, I think, during the whole time. So it's not much, and I only play with people I know. I don't play with randoms. And I don't play live. I only play turn-based. So I can do the turns when I have time.
Oh, that's good. That's a good way to do it. I don't mind that way.
Yeah, because then you don't have to sit in front of the computer and do the turns, because there's other stuff to do than that.
Yeah.
So you can just see that, okay, I have 5 turns. Like in 5 games I have turns. I just come to the computer, I do the turns, and then I go away for an hour.
What games
So
have you been playing that you've been enjoying the most?
Oh my god, this will be a long list.
Well, which few of you enjoyed the most, do you think?
One will be on the list.
Okay.
And Keyflower worked very well, actually,
I love Keyflower.
on Board Game Arena.
Keyflower. Did you say
Yeah.
Keyflower, but not Keyflower?
Yeah.
Keyflower.
Yeah,
is
Keyflower.
Keyflower is one of the best games of all time.
Yeah,
I
and
love
it
that
worked
game.
surprisingly well on Board Game Arena. And Madeira works well. I don't
Yeah,
know
Madeira.
how heavy you like.
I played that. I have played it. Is that What's Your Game?
Yeah.
Yeah, I played that. I did enjoy it. That's the one I liked more. I've liked all of their games, but I want to play Zhanguo. That's the one I would like to try. I've never played that one.
I don't think they have it on Board Game Arena.
Which
I
is-
have it on the shelf. It's quite good, actually.
Which
But
is the other one that's
Mm.
really popular? Not
Nippon?
Nippon. Oh, Nippon. Now that game is so good, but it's so terrible for my brain. But yeah,
It's also in Board Game Arena, and it works very well there.
Nippon is a really good game. I want
Yeah.
to try Madeira again, But Nippon I have definitely enjoyed a lot. It's a really good game.
Yeah. But if you have a username, or if you are a user in Board Game Arena, I can play something turn-based. Not live, but turn-based.
I like the
if
idea
you
of doing
want
it
to.
turn-based as well, though, because it gives you time to... it's this less pressure, right, to play.
Yeah. And you have, I mean, I always use this 2 days per turn. So if you do your turn and then quickly the second one, you have 4 days holiday in a way. so there's no time limit or pressure or something like that. It works very well with the people you know, not with the randoms.
I think, I like the idea of doing it that way.
Yeah. And they have really good games. Also, yukata.de, they have your games. They have all Felds, first of all, there. And they have so many dry, soulless Euros. And they have Sekigahara.
Yeah, I want to try Sekigahara online. Me and Paula were talking about trying to play that. And knowing that that's online there, that's a really good maybe way to do it.
Try it in Yukata. The only problem is that the map is really difficult to see the names.
Yeah.
But if you have the physical game, you can look at the map.
Yeah, you can cross-reference where the things are on the game, yeah.
Yeah, but it worked very well. We just finished the game today.
How long did it take you to play it?
Yukata is by default turn-based, so you can't even play it live. So I think we began it 1 week ago or something like that.
Okay.
A few evenings we played one full week. Week in the game.
Yeah.
Then we completed it today.
That's cool.
And I won, of course, yes.
That's the most important part of the whole thing, isn't it?
Of course not. Come on. Most important part is to learn the game and see if you like it.
It's winning. It's unless you can destroy the person you're playing and shame them. That's what you really want.
That's the Japanese way, right?
Well.
Other than the coronavirus and all of that, it seems that you're doing well, right?
I'm doing better than I was this time last year. I wouldn't say I'm doing well, but I'm doing okay. I've got lots of things I want to be doing and stuff, and maybe things to make me slightly happier in life. But I think, but yeah, I'm not doing terribly, but I'm not doing like, I don't know how I would say that. I'm doing all right, I suppose. I guess.
No, I'm just thinking you sound much more cheerful in wherever you talk or wherever I see you on video than earlier. But maybe you're getting rid of that earlier character.
Well, I feel like some people think I actually might be just miserable and horrible all the time and not fun to be around or talk to. And really, I'm quite cheery.
Yeah,
but
I noticed.
I do like that kind of morose, the world is terrible type of stuff. But I also want to make sure people know that it's not necessarily my true. I'm not like that all the time.
Yeah, a while ago I noticed that the listeners tend to think that you are all the time like that, and they tend to think that you really have some kind of problems with Dan when you were beginning the show.
Yeah.
They take everything seriously. I don't understand why. Why?
It's one of those things you have to say. I wish you could have captions somewhere that just said, "This is sarcasm right now," just so you know this is just being sarcastic.
Or is it the American audience?
Perhaps. I think that might be part of it. I think there's a British and a European kind of sense of humour that doesn't always translate to America, and vice versa, I think. But
yeah, that's true.
I think being dry and being very serious and telling someone that they're terrible, but obviously you don't mean it, is more funny to me than it would be to an American person, perhaps.
Definitely. I assume so as well. How about change? What do you think of change? Is it a good thing or a bad thing, or is it situational?
I think it's... right, it's inevitable, so you kind of have to just go with it. Whether it's good or if it's bad, there's not anything you can do about it, really. So you might as well just try and see the good, regardless of whether it's good or bad. Yeah? Right?
Yeah, it's your opinion. It's correct in your opinion.
That's my opinion. I'm correct with my opinion.
But that's right, isn't it?
It's true. Yeah, it doesn't matter if I'm right or wrong, I suppose.
Yeah, as long as you believe in it.
As long as I believe, that's all that matters to me. Yeah.
Yeah, and the Fox Mulder as well.
He believes. Now, he believes.
He does.
He be believing in things.
How about, do you think the change shows on a global scale after this year, or does it do it already? And in what way?
Say that again, sorry, what did you say?
On a global scale, do you think the change is showing already? I mean, not considering individuals, but the globe, like Earth as a whole. Do you think we are seeing some changes?
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, I don't want to talk politics too much, but yeah.
Don't. If you don't want to, don't.
But it's but yeah, I think change is, I think change is more of a pendulum rather than a straight line anyway. So I think anything that changes too far to one side tends to swing back to the other side anyway. So I think it's only I think for people it's often just a waiting game to this pendulum to be on your side of the aisle, I suppose you could call it. But
that's a good metaphor, actually.
See, that's not bad, not terrible. And so I think it's better I really just do think it's better to try and flow with the current rather than fight against it, because it tends to meander back and forth, right? So I just think I know for myself that I waste too much time worrying about things that I have absolutely no control over. And a lot of the time I should probably that energy is just better spent not worrying about those things. I mean, it's very difficult to do in practice, to actually put that into practice. Hey, don't worry about it. But I think it's good advice, but also just one of those impossible things to actually take to heart. Because I just think there's so many things that I can't control. I do my bit when I get chance to do my bit, which is like by casting a vote or something like that. But like in Britain, for instance, we're not going to have any like elections for another 4 years, so I don't have the energy, I'm not in a position to rail against the machine for 4 years and in hope that I'm going to change something. I just don't have that kind of power, so I think better to try and make my own life better, and so, and by that I mean do the things that I can do on a day-to-day basis to cause change, and just try and be a nice person and do things for people. And so I think if you're a good person in that way, depending on how you see what that means, I suppose. I mean, it doesn't always mean the same thing to everyone. So.
Yeah.
Apparently.
And that's true. So. Do you think you yourself have changed during the last year as a person?
I know, of course, that I must have. But when you see yourself in the mirror every day, you don't necessarily notice your hair getting any longer. Do you know what I mean? So when you spend all the time with yourself, seeing those little changes that might be happening to your personality or your life or wherever you are, is difficult to see. But I have to assume I've changed. I think maybe I'm a little bit more. I'm both a little bit more hopeful about things, maybe in the future being something that is possible. I think that things I want in life might be slightly more possible. But I'm also, I equally find it difficult to keep positive about that, it's difficult. So I don't think I don't think I've changed as much as I would like to say I have. Is probably the answer.
If you had to decide again, would you join the Watch It Played?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's been a great choice.
That's been good. I think that's been good. It's paid work, right? So
yeah,
in that regard, that's good, and it's been nice to get to make better friends with like Rodney and Chaz as well. It's been that's been a positive change in my life. So that's something that's good. So yeah.
I heard years ago you say that you would like to do board game media stuff full time. Are you able to do that already, or do you still have to do other work?
I am at the moment doing creative stuff full time, essentially. I work mostly in the board game industry, whether that's editing someone's podcast for them. It's not necessarily, all that kind of stuff. But I also earn some money doing creative stuff that's not in the board game industry, like through Death of Monsters and a few other projects and stuff that I've worked on for other people. But I would like to be doing creative stuff. I don't need it to be in the board game industry, I don't think.
Yeah. Okay. But you don't have to do this different kinds of jobs that you were doing earlier. That's good.
Yes. Well, my last job before I started doing board game stuff more full time was working in construction. I was a labourer on a building site, and I'd spend 9 hours a day moving bricks, and that was like hard work, right?
But it's really healthy, actually.
I mean, I was in pretty good shape, I suppose. I mean, if I've moved 10 ton of cinder blocks in a day, but yeah. But yeah, I mean, that was, moving.
10 tons is quite a lot.
It was 10 pallets of cinder blocks, loading out. You could load up, yeah. I think loading out 10 pallets in a day. That's not. I've had worse days. It's not fun. You kind of end up having calluses on your shoulders, but other than that, it's not too bad.
And now you have developed a problem with GMT Games, it seems, instead of that.
Dude, I'm in. I've reached the dark side. That's a big change, actually, in my life. I've always been the dry, soulless Euro kind of, Stefan Feld kind of board gamer. And recently, I'm not as interested with the recent, like Lost Ruins of Arnak, for instance. Big, new, CGE. Is it CGE? Yeah. Check engine. Like Euro, essentially. And I'm like, fine, cool. I'm not interested. Whatever. Same old same. And there I am buying 12-year-old GMT games. But I just think it's one of those things. I think the pendulum will swing back and I'll be back to buying Reiner Knizia games that no one's ever heard of.
Yeah, but that's how it goes. There is this kind of arc in the gaming career. I was playing coin games more willingly earlier than I began playing more Euros. And I would play coin games again, in a way. I've never had anything against them, but they are just so... It takes a moment to learn them, although the system is quite same in the coin games, depending on the game, of course, but there are still some small things that are different regarding the map and regarding the factions and how the factions work against each other. And yeah, but they are good games and they are well designed, in my opinion, at least all of them that I've played.
I really want to play All Bridges Burning, which is the new one that's just come out.
Yeah, I noticed.
Yeah, well, it's home turf, right? So I am really interested in that game. I think do you know what the thing is as well? It's like it's 3 players, which is easier to get played, and it just looks really nice. It's snowy and nice, and I like that. And it's so silly, but that is,
it's from the Independence War, right?
Yeah,
from 1916, I think it was. Or 17.
That's what it is. Yeah. That's exactly what it is.
Yeah, so red versus white.
Yes,
basically.
It is exactly. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if it's good. They made there are 2 games made in Finland. One from that war, and the other one that was published this year, I think, was from the Second World War. But last year or 1 year earlier, there was 1918. Brother Against Brother is the translation of that game. It's a Finnish war game. And I think it's quite good. I haven't played it, but it seems to be good, and people are saying that it's good.
I'm interested in it.
I don't know if it's in English or not.
I'll just learn.
But what's the thing with Finland?
I don't know. I don't know. I just became a bit of a thing. I don't know. I don't really know.
Yeah, you can come to visit, as you know.
Man, I would like to. I was going to do a thing where I was going to I wanted to. At one point, I had a big plan. I was going to cycle all the way up Sweden because I've got some friends that live in Sweden, and I was going to try and cycle or walk maybe like from the Arctic Circle down. I wanted to do it. It never happened, but I do still want to do it. Just go missing for 6 months and just walk around Scandinavia.
Yeah, just make sure to visit North Karelia. We have really good nature here. It's the best nature in Finland. I'm not comparing to Lapland because Lapland is a huge area.
Yeah.
It's a bit boring looking at places, but some places it's really nice.
Yeah,
looking.
I can imagine that. Makes sense.
Yeah, it's quite wilderness there. But we have really good forests here and everything in North Karelia. And the national landscape is here. But if you're coming, you're welcome.
That'd be fun. That'd be a lot of fun.
We'll have a game day if you come here.
That would be good. Now, I would be interested in that. That sounds fun.
Yeah.
That'd be good. Would you come to Britain to go to UK Games Expo, or maybe not this aircon, but the aircon after that? Are you still hoping to do those type of things?
I think we would all come to UK Games Expo every year that we can, when it's arranged, because we actually like Birmingham. They have the Legoland now and they have Sea Life, so
that's true. There are some stuff to
family.
do. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And the daughter is now 4.5, so soon we can go to this chocolate factory.
Yeah, Cadbury's World. That's true.
Yeah,
it's got some good science museums and stuff like that, which are really interactive and stuff and fun to do. So.
Yeah, we've been going to the library also. We like it. It looks cool.
Oh yeah, the library's wicked. It is cool. Yeah, I know what you mean. It's a strange building. I actually tend to go to when people come to Birmingham. I tend to there's a coffee shop at the bottom of the library, and I tend to take them there to start off with, and then it's a good place to go from. Yeah,
they had some nice soda there. I think some countryside made soda, small puddles. We drank that last time.
Sounds good.
It was quite good.
Sounds good.
Yeah, but after 10 o'clock, it's not a nice place in the evening.
It isn't. No, you're not wrong. You're right. Yeah, it's not great.
Yeah, but during the daytime, it's really great.
Yeah. Birmingham can be a scary place after dark.
Yeah, I noticed.
Me and Dave were we were coming back from UK Games Expo, and there was we witnessed a huge fight in a McDonald's. And Dave was like, I've never seen anything like this ever before in my whole life. And I worked in pubs and clubs and stuff for a long time when I was in London, and I thought, I've seen this a lot. I don't want to be anywhere near it, but I definitely have seen this before.
Yeah. What do you expect from the future?
Oh, jeez. I don't know. I would like... What do I expect, or what do I want? I suppose they are different things.
You can say both.
I don't know what I expect. I don't know. What I would like is a project that I'm working on creatively to be successful enough to support me on its own, essentially, without me needing to do... Because my issue at the moment is I have to do 20 different things to stay afloat.
Yeah.
And I would like it if I was just doing one thing to stay afloat, and it was the thing I was doing, and it's something I was passionate about. So that's what I'm aiming for. So I will choose to expect that to happen at some point, but it's a lot of work, and there's a lot of luck involved with that as well, I think. But that's what I really am after, is being able to work on one thing that can support me.
No,
rather than,
I think if a correct person hears you or sees you, that has a huge impact, because people are so much influenced by the social media people. So if someone praises you in a correct place, in a correct way,
well, if I did a podcast,
it's done.
If I did a podcast and Joe Rogan said, this podcast is amazing, then you'd be a success overnight, wouldn't you? But
yeah,
that's the way it goes. Yeah.
Too bad Joe Rogan doesn't know quality, so.
It's too bad Joe Rogan has no idea who I am. So that's true.
Yeah. Do you want to add anything else to this part of the discussion, or should we move on to our top 9 lists?
Let's move on to the top 9 list, I feel, because if I get any more philosophical, I'm going to become incredibly difficult to tolerate. So let's go on to the list, because the list is very much... You can talk about it. But it's very Matthew Jude, this list.
Yeah.
It's
Also, if you become intolerable, I can just mute you because you're recording yourself.
That's
so
true.
Really
so
matter.
I can just say what I need to say, and you could listen to it later. That's true.
That's true. Anyway, let's move on to the list. So this time it's a bit different because Matthew didn't want to choose a topic. I don't know why, but he maybe thought that he doesn't want to choose a topic, so he made me choose a topic.
Yeah, that's it.
And I tried to make a difficult topic to Matthew, but I noticed that it was probably more difficult to me than to you. But the topic this time is top 9 games that make us merry or give the holiday feels now that we are close to Christmas. I don't know if this will be out before Christmas, but maybe it will be.
Yeah.
How did you make the list?
I looked around and thought... So there's a couple caveats to what makes me like a holiday game or a merry game. And by holiday, I meant like the Christmas period is what I've gone with, rather than any other holidays. So, games that could be up for the cut. Any game that was a bit wintry, had snow on the board. That's okay to use. Games that have like a bit of a Christmas theme or a feel to them, that's okay. Although, I'll be honest, doesn't help anyone that much. And also, games that I specifically enjoy playing with my family at Christmas that make me happy. Those are the things that I thought about. So that's how I made my list. And then I looked around my room, and I don't own... Actually, do I own all of these? And I own all of the games. So that's helpful. Yeah.
I usually make all my lists so that I try to figure out from the games that I own.
Yeah.
This time I don't own one. That's the game that I mentioned earlier that I have been enjoying in Board Game Arena.
Yeah.
And actually I don't own 2. One I don't own anymore, but I want to own it a bit later.
Well.
And I basically did the same. I first thought that what makes me feel good and makes me happy. And that was difficult.
That's I mean, for me too, that's like... Do any of these games... You look at your games and you think, do any of these actually make me happy? And you can't. The answer can't be no, because I'm surrounded by board games.
Yeah, but you did the Marie Kondo thing earlier. I haven't done that yet, but I should, because I have too many piles now that shouldn't exist. They should be on the shelf.
Yeah.
Then I also did the winter thing, and for this I asked help from my game group, and they were giving these winter games that I haven't played, and they said that it's basically the same game. But still I didn't include it because I haven't played it. Like Stone Age Anniversary Edition. I haven't played the winter version, so I didn't include it.
I had the exact same thing, because I was like, Stone Age brings me happiness, but I don't own the winter edition. I own the normal edition of Stone Age.
Yeah, I had the same for Carcassonne, because that has probably never left me feeling bad about the game. I don't have the winter edition. I haven't played it.
I also did the exact same thing with Carcassonne Winter Edition, because I haven't played it, and I own 2 copies of Carcassonne, but I own Carcassonne the Castle and Carcassonne the City. Neither of those are particularly wintry.
Yeah. And also I've used Seasons earlier, so I don't use the same games 2 times in this list. I'm going to run out soon, but Seasons has this winter, and some of the cards are also winter themed, and that game is great.
Seasons is a phenomenal game. It
also works very well in Board Game Arena.
Does it? I love Seasons. That's such a good game.
Yeah.
Seasons was the first game I ever played at a convention. And someone taught it me, and it was way too much for me to know what was going on when, like, I was just getting into the hobby, and I was like, I might go to a board game convention. Ooh, what's going on here then?
Yeah, at least they didn't introduce you with an 18XX.
I would have been gone. That'd have been me out. I'd have been. You wouldn't be having this. We wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
Have you played any, by the way?
I've never played any of the 18XX games. I am interested in trying them, and there's a little convention in Britain. Well, it's not a little. It's I guess the third biggest is called HandyCon, and there's a 18xx room at HandyCon, the entire convention, and I mean they had about 1,500 people I think at the last one, so it's not tiny and it's not massive, but it's really nice sized little convention, and the whole room is just 18xx. There's just a lot of people, they gather just to play 18xx, but they are super welcoming, and it's just like, hey, if anyone wants to learn an 18xx game, someone will sit down with you and teach you how to play. And I was like, that's so nice and such a cool thing to happen. So I think next time I go to a HandyCon, whether that be next year or the year after, I think I might try and sit in and get some people to teach me. Or I might try and get Ambi to teach me.
No. Ambi's introductory video to this 18xx are actually quite good.
Yeah.
And 1830 is a good place where to start.
Barons? Is that one?
Yeah, it's the first one.
I was thinking about that one. I did. Yeah. I owned an 18xx game for a hot minute before I realised I was never going to play it, and then I was like, I just got rid of it immediately. I kind of wish I wish I still had it.
Yeah.
But I'm into war games now. I mean, jeez. So anything's possible.
Yeah, that 18xx room, the people you said that they are very welcoming. It's like the opposite of miniature gamers.
Yes, exactly.
It's the room of miniature gamers. When you enter the room, all of them stare at you, and you want to turn around as quietly as possible.
Just sorry, wrong room. I'm gonna leave. But like that,
not touching. Sorry,
I just needed to sneeze. But yeah, the 18xx game room is like they even had I think they had sort of spare poker chips and stuff for people to use if they wanted to learn and stuff. It was just a really cool thing. They was like, hey, just come in at this time. We're teaching people games at this time. They'd all put aside time to do that, and that was really cool.
That's great.
I want to try City on Big Shoulders. Is it called that? City.
That's also in Board Game Arena. I can teach it to you if you want.
But that's like an 18xx. Oh, sorry. I think I kicked my microphone. That's an 18xx light game. I kind of feel right. So.
Yeah, it's like combined with Ark, right? I really like it. It's one of the best games from last year. Probably the best or the second best, in my opinion. It's really, really good.
I want to try it. I would like to try that. All right, let's go with this list.
Do you have any honorable mentions?
Other than what we've just said, like Carcassonne Winter Edition would be nice to play at Winter. I'd like that. I'd like to get a copy of Carcassonne Winter, just like I have a standard Carcassonne. And Stone Age Winter Edition. I think those are my two honourable mentions, really. And, A Festival of 1,000 Cats. Have you ever heard of that game?
No.
It's a festival.
That would be like a death sentence to me. I'm so allergic.
That's a lot of cats if you're allergic. But A Festival of 1,000 Cats is a simultaneous play, trick-taking game. So you don't play one at a time. Everyone plays a card down at the same time. But it's got winter seasons, and you're trying to collect fish, not collect crows, and you're trying to collect two booze tokens, but never 3 booze tokens per round. And it's super, super cute and super, super nice. And it's an honourable mention because I've got another game on my list which kind of encompasses trick-taking games as a whole. But that is a really nice one. And A Pleasant Journey to Neko. For some reason, I don't have that on my list, but it's a really, really nice game. And it's got penguins on the front, and it's a bit wintry. But it's always...
penguins is a good point, actually.
But it's always wintry in the Antarctic. So it's not necessarily the season, but it is always quite snowy.
Yeah.
So those are my honourable mentions. How about you?
I have Ticket to Ride Nordic Edition, but I haven't played it. I will get it if I find it cheap.
So stupid.
I haven't played it. It has Santa on the cover, so it has to be Christmas.
That would be number 1 on my list if I'd have thought about it. Oh, I'm so glad you mentioned it. I just came
up with it before recording. I just came up with it, and it has Santa.
Because it's so festive. Because all the train cards have got snow on them, and the board is so lovely. It's my favourite Ticket to Ride version.
Yeah.
How did I not think about Ticket to Ride Nordic countries? I'm such an idiot.
And you're a Finnish fan nowadays.
Yeah, I'm a Finnish fan. I would delete any game off my list and replace it with Ticket to Ride Nordic countries.
Yeah. I think I would like it the most because I think Ticket to Ride is really good with 2 and 3, but this Europe that I have, is a bit too loose with 3. and I think would be perfect.
It's perfect, and it is so Christmassy as well. It's a great game to play at Christmas because it's so festive. Okay, so let's pretend that that's really my number one, because it probably would be. Now I think about it, it really could be my number one. Oh, I'm glad you mentioned it, but I'm so angry that I forgot all about it.
Yeah, one other is Fields of All. I didn't include this because it's a bit too heavy, and it doesn't really make me feel necessarily happy.
Well, I was thinking the same thing about A Few Acres of Snow. It's like, it's got snow in the title, and it's a snowy board, but it doesn't make me feel merry. It's not a happy game.
Yeah, I went with more to the way that what makes me happy.
Yes.
Or that I have memories of playing in Christmas holiday.
I think that's a fair way to do the list. I've tried to do a bit of both. Okay.
All right. So until now we've had this thing here that the guest can pretend to be Eric Sammerer or an announcer and can announce the number and then continue with their own selection. So you get to see how you would be as an announcer.
Do you just want me to say number 9 as though I'm number 9?
As an announcer. Whatever is your announcer voice.
All right, let me do it.
You can do dialects or different languages if you want. You can say in Finnish if you.
I could do it like I'm the Beatles and just go number 9, number 9, number 9, number 9. That's how I'm gonna do it. I edit.
That's on an LP.
Sure, yeah.
The needle got stuck a bit.
Yeah, true. That's what I'm going to do. That's it. Number 9. I'm in. All right. I'm going to go. Am I going first? Do you want me to carry on?
Yeah.
My
you can
number
go first.
9, if you will believe it, is Winter Kingdom.
Mm-hmm.
So.
That's quite new.
Winter Kingdom is a new game from Queen Games. It is the new... I'm going to bring it up on here, actually. I've got a different game up. But it's basically the sequel to Kingdom Builder.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks... When you look at the board, it's very obvious that it's a sequel to Kingdom Builder. Kingdom Builder is a game I really like. It plays 2 to 4 players by Donald Baccarino and all that kind of stuff. But... It has all the... What it's done is it's wintry. The board's really beautiful, wintry and snowy. And it's taken all the best bits, in my opinion, it's taken all the best bits from all of the Kingdom Builder expansions and kind of like plucked them all into one new base game. That's essentially what it is. If you own all of Kingdom Builder, you don't need Winter Kingdom, in my opinion. But if you want to start somewhere, this is where to start. And it's wintry, but I really love playing this game, and I have some really fond memories of playing Kingdom Builder with my friend Adam when I started getting into the hobby, because that's one of the games we thought was like, Kingdom Builder, this is meant to be good. And so it does make me merry, but I just really like how it looks. It's very snowy and beautiful, and it's fun. You're just trying to put your houses down in whatever the scoring cards tell you to do this game. The worst part about it is when you go from one game to the next game, because all the scoring is different because you've drawn new cards, and you have to remember that you're playing a new game and not the old game. Other than that, Winter Kingdom is really good. It's my number 9.
Yeah, I didn't like Kingdom Builder
that
earlier, but I played it in Board Game Arena, and then I found a used copy cheap with the first expansion. It was €15, so I had to buy it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be able to pass that off. Definitely.
Yeah, it became so much better after playing it in Board Game Arena, after knowing how it works. And it's not a difficult game. It's easy, it's simple, it's boring, but there is still something that... I want to play again. I don't know what is it.
It's satisfying to score points. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it just is. I feel that's what it is with Kingdom Builder and Winter Kingdom. It's satisfying to do a good move and score some good points. It's good. You know? I think it's a bit addictive.
Yeah. Dave Lusa didn't play it with me. I sent an invitation to him in Board Game Arena. He just said that, I saw what you did there.
He's missing out. He doesn't know what he's talking about. His favourite game is Great Western Trail, which I will tell you...
Boo.
Which I don't like. I'll say it. I don't like that game.
Yeah, I think you and me are the only people who don't like it.
I think you might be right. I don't know many other people who like our type of games, as it were, who don't like Great Western Trail, and I really just don't like. I can recognize it's a good game for the people. I'm not like hating on it, but I really don't want to play that game. I don't want to play it.
I have exactly the same opinion, but I've been told that I should try it with the expansion.
Yeah.
That then it becomes good. That it's not good without expansion.
That's what people always say, though. They say, "Oh no, you should try it again, but try it this way." It's like, no, all right, I'll try it again.
I'll give it one more chance with the expansion.
I wanted to like it as well. It's not like I went in I didn't want to hate it. I wanted to like it.
Same. I wanted to like it so much. I was considering buying it, but I didn't buy it because I had the possibility to try it first. And it's good that I tried it first. My number 9 has nothing to do with Christmas.
Good start.
But it has a lot to do with how should I say? It has some fun moments. Unless if you're on the taking end, it's not fun. But if you're not, if you're observing, if there are lots of people, it's great. And this is Robo Rally.
Okay. I see what you mean. It has some fun moments.
Yeah. But we always play so that you're not out of the game. Even if you die, I mean, even when you die 3 times, you're not out. You can still come back. Because otherwise it's a bit pain. Never play this with a big map. Always play it with a small map. Just one is enough. And lots of players and lots of these conveyor belts, and this becomes very
It's the more chaos the better, right, with that game, I feel like.
Yeah, and when you push the others around and then you shoot them and then everything, and it's just so good. I have good memories of playing this on holidays, and I can still see some faces of the people who didn't get that good memories. This makes me laugh every time. But I've never gone off the game not laughing at least once or twice.
I've never played it, but I would like to play it. I saw Nick and Mike Murphy play Quirky Circuits, and it made me want to try Robo Rally. So yeah, I would like to try it.
No, it's just don't expect to win. Just expect
it's
to
one of those things.
Laugh and
I feel
be
like
hurt.
It's the expectation when you go in, right? If you go in thinking, I'm going to win this game and do things correctly, you're not going to enjoy it. You're going to go, I'm going to give this a good go and expect for it to be chaos. I think that's what puts people off, right? That thinking that you're going to have more control.
Crap. I could have put Galaxy Tracker on this list.
Oh, yes, because space is so cold and Christmas.
No, I mean that it makes me laugh.
Yeah, that's true.
To other people.
That's a good one. It does.
And it has aliens and flying saucers like Santa is using or something. I don't know. But no, I was thinking this laughing.
Oh, well, you missed out. All right, should we move on to number 8?
Yeah.
Number 8. My number 8. Thank you. My number 8 is Gingerbread House.
I knew this was on your list.
Yeah, Gingerbread House. Phil Walker Harding's game from 2018. It's from Lookout Spiel. It's light, it's simple, and it's a game where you're putting these domino tiles onto a 3x3 grid, and whatever you cover up, you get gems, and then you get the gems, and with the gems you capture mythological, like folk tale people, like Red Riding Hood and stuff, and you get points for doing so, and there's a few special powers that you can get during the game as well. This is Christmassy in my mind, because gingerbread to me is a Christmassy thing. However, it's not a Christmas themed game. It's just because it's gingerbread. It's like but that gingerbread is a Christmassy thing as far as I'm concerned, and so are gingerbread houses. But it's really fun and light, and it's just a nice little simple game. It's one of my favorite Phil Walker Harding games of this type. I'm not as big a fan of Baron Park. But you know what the thing is though with Phil Walker Harding, I look at the games he's designed, and you go, oh wow, I actually really like Sushi Roll. Oh, I actually really like Silver and Gold. I actually really like Archaeology,
and Gizmos.
Yeah, and Gizmos, so Archaeology, the New Expedition, and a bunch of stuff. And you go, he's really good at designing like staple games for people like that are evergreen titles for a lot of people.
Yeah, and this Gateway.
Yeah, he's really good at designing gateway games.
Yeah.
I met him at Essen last year, and he was really, really nice. and I want to try the Sky one that he's done recently. Like monorails and stuff. It's like, I don't know. All his stuff's interesting, but Gingerbread House is really fun. I like it a lot, and it's simple. But it's just nice. I just like it. I don't know what it is about it. It's just very. It makes me happy. Is what it does. It just,
you don't have to defend yourself.
I will defend
like
it.
As well. I want to try it as well. I haven't played it, but I really want to try it.
It does make me happy. The game makes me happy. It's quite joyful. Oh,
yeah,
apart from Imhotep.
And it has Christmas.
Phil Walker Harding's mistake. Imhotep.
We should have a long discussion on the games that we hate, because I fully agree with you. We should have done 10 overrated and top 9 overrated games.
Next time we'll do that, because we have some similar opinions.
Imhotep, Great Western Trail, both of them.
Have similar opinions. Anyway, what's your number?
Do you like Catan?
Yes.
You like Catan, okay. That would have been different.
I liked Catan, I think. It got me into the hobby, but I don't need to play it now. But anyway.
No.
What's your number 8?
My number 8 is a small game that goes into a big pocket, and you just pile cards on top of each other and then see what happens. And this is Rhino Hero.
Yeah.
This is a very funny game. I don't know if there's anything to do with Christmas, but maybe there are some Christmas decorations on some of the windows, or some hats on the cats, or something like that. That almost became a rhyme. But that maybe we can try to thematize this so that this rhino is like the Santa that he has to, or she has to go to everywhere and all the windows from the buildings, and has to be able to climb everything and such. But this is just so fun game. I mean, I've never had a bad time playing this, no matter who wins. Also, the Super Paddle is also a great one. Both of them are really, really, really good. We actually played the Super Paddle in a way that the building didn't collapse the first time that we played it, and we were thinking that what is happening now, that we didn't know if there's a scoring or something, because we just looked the rules and then we played, and we were sure that it will fall, but it didn't fall. But this one always falls, the smaller one.
Yes, I think the bigger one tends to stay, like, it's a bit too stable sometimes. I've seen people go, cool, built it, let's finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fun.
This is a great game.
It is, and it's just fun for people, and it's just light-hearted family fun, right? I think. You can play it with adults as well if you have been drinking. I think that's also probably a good way to play to Christmas.
Yeah, or in a convention. We once played on a standing table, and the building became so high that you had to climb on a chair to put it higher.
I like
and that was really fun. It was really difficult.
All right, I'm going to go on to number 7.
Yeah.
Number 7. All right. My number 7. Christmas in Britain. I don't know what it's like in Finland, although I imagine slightly more snowy. Christmas in Britain also involves, for some reason, on television, there being a lot of war movies. There is a lot of war films on at Christmas in Britain. That's just one of the things that we do. So I've put Undaunted Normandy on my list because I want to talk about it all the time, because it's one of my favourite games ever.
Next. My number... No.
I love Undaunted. I really love it. It's fantastic. And I wanted to put it on, and it plays out like a war movie. It's like, it really plays out in a dramatic way. And I like it, and it's simple, and it's deck building, and it's fun, and it's great, and I like it. Undaunted Normandy. Number 7. That's it.
I haven't played either one of these Undaunted games, or the Air, Land and Sea either. But did this Undaunted Normandy make you want to try war games?
It is one of the ones that was like that was the stepping stone into the dirty world of wargaming. Yeah.
Oh boy.
You need to go for it. You could have a shelf full of unplayed GMT games like me.
No, I have no space. That's good. Actually, I have space for these bookshelf sizes, but I don't have any space for the square boxes. I'm in a bit of a trouble
what a
currently.
predicament. I'm surrounded by board games right now, and it's just like I've got nowhere to put them. It's a good problem to have, but it's also difficult. I've got no surfaces left in this room.
I'm becoming the same. It's not really good because I should work in this room also.
Yeah, it's the same.
and it's not good. I have one wall with the Billy shelves
Yeah.
and one wall with Kallax, and the Kallax has this square boxes and big boxes, and the Billies have all the bookshelf
That makes
size
sense.
boxes, and it's quite good currently, but it's too full of these squares.
What a...
My number 7,
Yeah.
actually I should switch this.
Okay.
No, I don't switch anymore. My number 7 is again this kind of a game where you laugh to others. That might be theme in this list, it seems. This is 6 Nimt. It would have suited better as a 6.
It would have been
anyway.
better as a 6, but
Yeah.
yes.
I made the mistake earlier, so I'll have to go with the mistake. 6 Nimt is a great game. It works with all player counts, and it's just so great feeling when you have exactly that number that will fill the row but doesn't take the row, and you can point at the other person who takes the row and say that ha ha ha. that's really really good. I mean, this is that kind of a game that can break friendships, but also you have to understand that it's only a game. And you can play with the strategic version. That's a bit hardcore. We once played it in Board Game Arena, so that there are no cards missing from between. If you play with 6 people, you have 64 cards, and that's it. So all the numbers are in use. That's really, really hardcore at some points. It's really difficult. But I really like 6 Nimt. It goes with me to trips and everywhere in a plastic bag, because it's just 104 cards in the deck, and that's all.
It's a good game. I would have put the Mind. I could put the Mind here on this list as well. I feel like it's in a similar kind of category to 6 Nimt. And
it would go on the other list of mine.
Yeah.
This overrated one.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely overrated, but it is quite funny as well. All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's fun, not bad, but not good either. But okay, it's fun. I can give you that. It has funny moments. At
All right.
times.
Number 6. My number 6 is Hanabi.
Mm-hmm.
So, Hanabi, the game where you can't see your cards and everyone else can see your cards, and you're shouting at people because you gave them a clue of where a card was. It's actually kind of in that 6 Nimt the Mind category in a sense as well, where you're trying to put cards down in a sequence. It's just such a... This game just makes me probably laugh almost more than any other game I've ever played. Almost. The exception to that is later on this list. But
Are you playing traitor in that game, if it makes you laugh?
we just do... The thing that's funny is when you've told someone a clue and they don't remember, and they're just like, I'm so sorry, and you're just putting something down. You're just like, I don't know what I'm putting down. I'm just going to go with this. I know you've told me what I have and where it is, but I have forgotten that. So, but it's just, I just love Hanabi. It's one of the, I don't know, it just makes me very, very happy. And it's a bit festive because it's a fireworks festival, which I thought made it fit on the list. And I just really like it. There's something really special to me. There's something special about Hanabi. I know it's a divisive game and not everyone likes it and all that kind of stuff, but for me, Hanabi is just a really fun time. And I just have really good memories of playing this with my brother and his fiance and a few other people. And just having a really good time with it. And I think maybe part of it is the nostalgia of how much I did enjoy playing this when I was early on in board games. But it's on my list. I'm having it. Hanabi, number 6. It's great.
Yeah. This is my most played modern board game or a card game. I probably have almost 60 plays recorded.
Really?
Yeah, since 2014 when I began recording. And yeah, I agree with everything I said, except that I don't know if it's funny.
It just makes me laugh so much when I think I just get the giggles when I'm playing it with my brother, probably is what it is, really. When I'm just like, come on, you know this. How do you not remember? How do you not know? And if I wasn't laughing, I'd be getting very angry. I think that's what it is.
Yeah, we just, the group I play with most of the time, we play with 3 or 4 players.
Yeah.
And we try to always get the full score. We play with the multicolor, so we try to go for 30. So if we laugh or we talk too much, we will forget everything.
Yeah.
And we are trying to get the full score. We just did that 1 week ago in Board Game Arena, so now I don't have a game running there. and it works really well there.
It's just wonderful.
And this is a great game. I fully agree with you, except with the fun part.
It's so
But
weird that
great
you could
game.
agree with someone that it's a great game, apart from the fact that you think it's not fun.
I wouldn't laugh.
I
while
know.
playing it.
It doesn't help you. It doesn't help you to have to laugh when you're playing it. But to me, I
Yeah.
laugh a lot.
I get angry when people don't remember, and then they throw the 5 too early. They
That's the
put
worst.
the second 2 down. That's the worst. If you discard 2 twos of the same color.
Yes, it is. It can be a terrible time.
Yeah.
Right, what's your
Anyway,
what's yours?
my number 6 is a game that I don't own, that I've only played in Board Game Arena. I heard about this from Susan Sheldon on the Dice Tower podcast, I think. And this is old trick-taking game, or trick-avoiding game from 2010. It has probably the ugliest cards ever, and this is called Papayo. And in this one, it has nothing to do with festive, but you give gifts to the other players. Basically, you choose 4 cards from your hand, and you give them to the player in front of you. I mean, who will play after you. So you can give them a great gift of high cards of one suit, or give them all these crap cards, and you can really, in a way, if you know what you're doing, you can really screw their game with that one move by giving the correct gift. I don't know if you've played this. It's some kind of a strange game.
It's got like a really weird cover. I think I know what game I know what game you're talking about. I've not played it, but I have seen it.
Yeah, this took me by surprise. I thought that I might not like it, but this is one of the best avoiding card games. A bit similar to Bottle Imp. I like.
I've got Bottle Imp. I enjoy Bottle Imp a lot.
That is perfect with 3 players.
Yeah.
It's so good. It's one of the best trick-taking games. And this Papayo is quite similar, but I really like this.
I'm interested. I think trick-taking games are a style of game I always am really interested in. Anything that's a new type of trick-taking game. They're one of my favorite. It's one of my favorite things to do in games is trick-taking games. I love trick-taking games.
I'll play all trick-taking games once.
Yeah,
given
same.
the chance.
I've got one called Spoil Me Not, which was originally Nick DeBon, I think it was called. And that was really hard to find, and I got it in a maths trade, and I was like, yes, brilliant, and I got it. I've not played it yet, obviously, because of the world, but that was my like grail trick-taking game, and the Bottle Imp, and I'm thinking of the ones I like. I love Skulking a lot.
Yeah,
Skulking
that's really good.
But that's why I went with Festival of a Thousand. I got Festival of a Thousand Cats as well, because I just love trick-taking. I want to play. Is it called Influentia? The new. It's a new trick-taking game by the people who make, not Cosmodrome.
I don't know.
I don't know. I'll send you a link. It's a new trick-taking game. It looks interesting.
I have Board Game Geek open. I'll check.
Is it called Influen? I think it's
2020.
That's it.
This looks cool. Ludonova.
Ludonova.
It's the Spanish company, right?
Yes, I was going to say Nova Luna, but that's a completely different thing. But yes, I'm interested in that one because that's a new trick-taking game that seems cool. I think there's a time element to it.
This looks cool.
Yeah, it's a great game. Trick-taking games are my favourite. But yeah, I'm interested in this Papillon. I'm interested in it.
Yeah, you should really let me know your nickname in Board Game Arena I can invite you to this game.
I need to log into Board Game Arena for the first time in a very long time and see what's going on.
Yeah. There is one Matthew Jude, or I think that's you.
That's probably me, yeah.
Hasn't been online for years.
That sounds about right. I've added Papillon to my wish list on Board Game Geek. It's done. All right.
Yeah.
I'm going to move on to number 5.
Yep.
Number 5. My number 5 is Yukon Airways. Now, Yukon Airways was, let's bring it up, but it was I think it might have been my favourite game from last year. I'd have to reevaluate that now and have a think about it if that's actually true or not. But it's certainly one of my favourite games from last year. It's from Ludonova, actually. It's from them. I'm always interested in the stuff they do because they do like they do some Reiner Knizia games like Babylonian. They're just a good company in my opinion. And I loved the game Castel from 2018. I think that's an incredible game.
I didn't know you like it.
But Yukon Airways is a bit like that because you're trying to you're trying to break as many rules as possible by gaining bonus powers. But essentially what you're doing is you're drafting dice to deliver dice as passengers on the Yukon Airways, and you're trying to get them as far as possible, and in order to get points, and you need to like spend fuel and stuff. So it's kind of a pick up deliver, but it's also a dice drafting game. It's absolutely beautiful, first and foremost. But the reason I thought it would be good on this list is because you can always put stuff into like getting better at everything and spend money on getting better at stuff and buying fuel. But if you want, there's a way to earn straight points, and that is by putting your money into your Christmas bonus for the end of the year. So you're always putting money into your Christmas bonus, and the more money, the more like stuff you put into there, the greater payout of points it is at the end of the game. And that says Christmas, so it made this list, and I really liked the game, and that was all that it got it. That's all that got it into the list, because Christmas is on the board. I guess the Yukon is kind of snowy and cold as well, but it's a great game. And in the front of the box there's a bit of snow on. The front of the box looks like a Bob Ross painting.
Yeah, I opened it and added to my wish list.
Oh mate, it's so good. I love it. It's really, really good. Anyway, that's what
you're the first one I hear praise it. Everyone else has been meh, but all the games that you've said that are good have been good so far, like High Society and Coimbra and everything, all of those.
Yeah,
I trusted you, and it has never been wrong.
I feel like we've got a similar
telling the truth.
I think we've got a similar taste, right? I feel like most of the time we've got a similar taste in games. I feel like, and this is just really, really good. I don't know if you need to play it over and over and over and over and over again, but like something to bring out every now and again. This is a really good one. There's just something really, there's something really fun about this game. It makes me happy to play, and it's got Christmas in it, so that's what we're doing.
Yeah, I don't actually listen to your words. I listen to your tone and your enthusiasm, and now it came when you were talking that same as you did with High Society.
Well, I kind of go, the thing is, it's great, I guess I do that.
No, but you don't do it the same way in all games. I don't know what it is. Now I thought that I have to add this. This seems to be cool.
You can tell when I'm being genuine. Oh my god, that's terrifying. What's your number 5?
My number 5 is a game that you take 4 dice and you roll them and roll them and roll them and see if you won the game. And this is Can't Stop.
That's exactly how the game works. You take 4 dice and you roll them until someone wins.
Yes. See, even the description made you laugh.
It's a great game.
This makes people funny. This all the time you laugh and then you cheer the others. Yes, you can do it. Brilliant. Yes, you can do it. And then, you couldn't do it. It's just so fun.
It's got such good moments in it, hasn't it?
Yes.
And it's so fun, and you really do rally behind someone trying to work their way up. Even if someone's trying to get like 2 12s in a row, or if they're trying to work their way up the 7s or the 6s, the 7s, and the 8s, and they do it and they don't stop and they make it all the way. Oh, there's nothing better than that. Watching someone, you want it to be you, right? But it's fun to watch anyone really succeed in that game because it's luck. It's just luck of the dice, right? So yeah, it's great. Yeah. That's a really good choice.
Yeah, you don't need to win yourself. It's enough that someone manages to do something really
That's
cool.
exactly it. And that
not like move 3 spots and stop. That's like boo.
Yeah, if anyone's playing where they're being sensible, that's not. I refuse to believe that's within the spirit of the game.
Yeah, I think you just roll the dice and see what happens.
That's why I've never won this game ever in my entire life because I can't stop.
You're not the only one in the world, I guess.
That's a really good choice.
Thanks.
I definitely would have put that on my list as well. That's games like this as well, but Can't Stop is like the definitive game that's like Can't Stop, and it's just funny. It is very funny. I would almost put. I haven't put Strike on my list, but Strike could be in the same category as where Can't Stop is, because you really should stop in Strike, and it's silly fun. You're just throwing your dice in and hoping for the best. Similar kind of feel to Can't Stop. They're very different games, but this is a very similar feel. Yeah, Can't Stop's a great choice. All right, number 4. My number 4 is Awkward Guests. So Awkward Guests is like Cluedo for gamers, essentially. It's a game of, like, it's a deduction game where you're trying to deduce who did the murder. And you've all got these big player sheets where you're crossing off information. And then each time when you play, you are going to offer up information to other people and a value of information. They're going to give you a value back, but tell you, like, there's level 1, level 2, level 3 kind of information cards. And if you say, I can offer you, I'm offering a 1 value 3 card of information, and they say, well, I've only got 3 value 1s. You go, no, I don't want that. That's rubbish. But you're trying to solve a murder. It's pure straight deduction, but I just think it's really fun, and it's a really good. I don't know what it is about this game that made me put it on this list, other than I feel like it's really, just a really fun game and you can play it over Skype with some added effort. If I'm perfectly honest, but you can play it over Skype. I played it with Paula over Skype. And there's something about this which is just very wholesome and family-esque to me, because it feels like a classic game. And I really, really enjoy it. And I'm not the biggest fan of deduction games, really, I don't think. That aren't party games, because this isn't a party game. Like, I would call Deception Murder in Hong Kong a party game rather than a deduction game. Where this is a straight-up, like, deduction game. And... but it's just really nice, and it's very wholesome, and it's a good thing. I think it's fun. I think playing this with your family and stuff could cause arguments, but in a very festive way. Anyway, I put Awkward Guests on the list. I just really felt.
Isn't that part of the holidays, actually?
It's fundamental to the holiday experience, right? So, but yeah, Awkward Guests, I think, for me, fits the list. I'm not sure if it really fits the list, but for me, it feels like it does. So I put Awkward Guests.
Yeah, but. Don't you get some in holidays? Awkward guests.
That's true. You do. I mean, and if you don't get any awkward guests, that's because you are the awkward guest. So
yes,
you have to
exactly. So that is perfect fit.
It's perfect for me. So awkward guest. I think this would also go on a list. If I was doing a list of underrated games, I feel like this would go on that list, as well as Yukon Airway. Actually, if I'm perfectly honest. But awkward guests is It's a really good time, and it really feels like a classic family game. Not family game, but I don't know, a classic game that you'd play with, like, your family. But it's slightly, but it is heavier than something like Cluedo, for instance. It is quite. You do have to do some good thinking. Anyway, that's mine. What's your number 4?
All right, I haven't played that. I want to try it.
It's a lot.
A friend of mine backed it in Kickstarter and then sold it after one play. Didn't like it at all, and I couldn't play it. So. Thank you.
I think it's quite hard to find as well because of that exact reason.
It's impossible.
It's like King's Dilemma. I want to play King's Dilemma so much, but can I buy a copy? No. So annoying. I want that game. Anyway.
I have a few party games here now because I thought that things that make me laugh, I had so many party games too.
My next one's a party game, so I'll see what yours are.
Yeah, I had to throw them out. I saved 2 because they are by far the best of these party games that I've played. I don't really like party games that much, but there are some gems. And first of them on this list is Time's Up Title Recall.
I didn't put this on my list, but I 100% agree with you. I feel the same way that you do about party games, and this one is one I love. So go on, yeah.
Yeah. So I have 2 party games coming up, and this is one of them, and the other one is the other one. The only difference is that the other one I've laughed more than with this one, but I think this is a better game.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
Especially this Title Recall. I mean, if it was the one with the names, this is also done in Finnish, but I think the print is so old that it's from 90s or
so,
something like that, so people don't know the names anymore on the game. And then if I play with Finns or people not from USA, the names in the other version are from USA, so we don't necessarily know them. But this Title Recall has titles from books and movies and everywhere, so these are a bit easier, and you can, if you don't know it, you can do something with the words in the title.
Because you don't have to.
If it's a person's,
you don't.
If it's the person's name, if it's a John Smith, how can you do something? But with the titles, you can,
And
even if you don't know what
and
it
even
is.
if you don't know what it is, you can do something strange, and then that becomes what you use. You don't need. Then it doesn't matter what it was, because the action that you've done becomes the thing that is related to that. It's brilliant for that reason. We play a version of this where we all kind of like once a year, normally at a convention, where we have like a Google document where we all put our own suggestions in, and then this our friend Simon creates our own unique deck of cards to play with. So we, as the group who are playing it, have all put the words into that are going to be drawn. It's a really good way to do it as well. You can, it's a brilliant game. I love this game.
Yeah, this is a really good game. So you play rounds first. You can explain as much as you want. Then you can explain with one word, I think.
One word, and then
you
just actions.
Then you make a sound or action. There are 4 rounds, I think. One round, I don't remember how it goes. Usually we just play 3 rounds.
I think I normally play
rounds.
3 rounds, where it's first is you explain it, then it's just one word, and then it's no words. That's the way we normally
just
do
acting. Yeah, there is some other 4th round in between something, but yeah, those are the 3 rounds we use also, and this is really good. It also works with uneven number of people, because then you have these combined points.
Yeah,
it works like a diamond in a way.
We just do it in teams and stuff, and it's just oh gosh, it's so funny.
Yeah, I haven't played this for maybe 2 years or something, but I really want to play it. I remember gathering with friends, and usually during holidays.
I normally play this once a year.
Usually in a small Christmas or little Christmas, and that's why it came up. And once a year.
I play it once a year, but we play it with about 25 people, and we have
awesome.
5 teams of 5 or something like that, and it takes us like 3 hours to get through to play the whole game, or 2 hours to play the whole game, and it's just people shouting at each other and laughing. It's one of the Time's Up has caused one of the best. It's been some of my favourite gaming experiences ever. Have been Time's Up, and it's such a silly little simple game. Oh, it's brilliant.
Yeah, that's
all right.
great.
We've agreed a lot on these lists, I feel, which is pretty good. My number three. My number 3. Time's
wrong.
My number 3. Okay, so I think Time's Up would be perfect on my list. The party game, I've only chose one party game for the list, really, and that is one of the games that's made me laugh just as much as Time's Up. I don't know if I would say more, but just as much, and that's a game called Anomia.
It's basically the same game, isn't it? Almost.
Well, Anomia is where you've got cards in front of you, and there's I might have tennis players on my card, and then a person next to me has baked goods, and then the person next to me's got cosmetics, the person next to me's got something else. And then if the card that gets flipped has the same symbol on it, it means that you have to say, and all the cards have got symbols on. So if a card gets flipped and it's got my symbol on, and 2 other people at the table have got the same symbol, I have to say a baked good before they can say a tennis player. And Anomia is the thing where you have a word on the tip of your tongue, but you can't quite say it. And the things people come out with, just the nonsense and the stupidity of this game. But it just makes you... It could be like an item of clothing, and you're there thinking, I can't think of any items of clothing. I've gone. It's just... And the fun thing is you can't say anything that's already been said. So if you see a card that's tennis players, someone in our group, someone might shout out 3 very famous tennis players. So no one, and you can't use them now, and so you've screwed the person you're playing with, because they can't. Anyway, it's just one of the funniest games of all time, in my opinion. It's so wonderful. You can get like American versions. I know you can get British versions, and it's the same thing with Time's Up. I like the one that might have like American football teams on it. Like no one knows. I don't know any American football teams. So you have to get a version that's like culturally relevant to you. But gosh, have I laughed at this game so much. It's one of those games. It's another game I try to play once a year, and we break the game by playing it with like 15 people. But it just makes it that much more funny to play. So Anomia is the party game I've gone with, and I love it to death.
Yeah, I mixed it with some other game that is almost like Time's Up.
Yes.
I don't
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
which one. This is the one that screws your brain.
Yes.
They have a kids version, it seems. Now this is interesting. It has pictures.
Oh, that's a clever. I've not seen that.
I'll leave it here open. I will check it out because this sounds like something I want to try. I haven't played it, but it might be very
Well,
interesting.
there's also there's a Nomia X.
Yeah, I noticed.
But you don't need an Anomia X because the normal Anomia makes you say very rude things because it's the first thing that comes into your mind.
But it's only one X.
It's only one X,
Not
that's
th-
true.
not-
It's
not
not
three.
three. So Nomia X, then it's 18XX, then it's Triple X, which is the...
Triple X, starring Vin Diesel.
Alright, what's your number 3?
My number 3 is the other party game, and this is here because it always makes me laugh, and you shouldn't play with the points, and this is Telestrations.
Oh man, yeah, 100% agree with you.
Because the worse you draw, the funnier it becomes, that's the point. I always remember when it was the last Little Christmas that we were together with our international group here. We were 12 people, and we were playing this with pairs. And I have Finnish edition, so all the pairs had a Finnish person and an like an international student or researcher or what we had in the group. So we had pairs, and one was explaining the word and one was drawing,
Oh
and
my
they
God.
were just helping, and that was total craziness. And it was so funny because there was the language difficulty in some words also, and it was really a blast.
I totally
That's one of the best moments I have.
I totally
on this
agree
game.
with you on this. I think the party games we've chosen, I really think that the party games we spoke about are really some of the best party games. I totally agree with your choices on this. And Telestrations can be just, if you play it just when people are tired enough for it to be ridiculous, just you break it out at like 1 o'clock in the morning, and it's just, and Anomia is the same, and it's just so much ridiculous fun. It's an absolute classic, isn't it? I think. Yeah, it's a great game.
Yeah. I think Time's Up is better than Telestrations, but Telestrations is more certain to make you laugh more.
Yeah, I agree.
think.
I agree. Time's Up can be slightly more group dependent, I think, maybe, because it's performance, right? And some people might be very nervous about that, and I could totally understand that.
And if people are stupid, they don't understand. But in Telestrations, you can draw if you can hold a pen.
Yes, very, very true. Very, very true. All right, number 2. My number 2. So this is actually a family of games, but I've gone with Celtis Das Oracle, or Celtis the Oracle, or Celtis Oracle. But you could put here Lost Cities, the board game, about 16 other Celtis games that exist, or I suppose you could put Lost Cities here as well. But Celtis Das Oracle is the one I've chosen because it's a 4-player game, Reiner Knizia game. This is one of the best, in my opinion, one of the greatest family games I've ever played. It's simple because what you're doing is you're playing cards down in the way you do in Lost Cities, but what you're trying to do is move these 3 pieces around the board to land on spots that are on the board to collect tokens to get points. It's very simple, and you might want to land on 3 different leprechauns to get you some points as well. And but you land one place, and then that means you can move to the next place, which means you can move to another place, and you're just gathering tokens. It's simple, but it's so much fun. It's just in my opinion, such a wonderful, light family game, and you can play it with anyone really. It's just a wonderful board game, I feel, and I just really love it, and for that reason, it makes me very happy because when people play this game, for me, the experience I've had with it is people have played it, they've had low expectations going in, often, because it's like, from 2010 or something, I suppose, maybe 11.
Is it that new? Isn't it older?
I'm not sure when it was. I've got it right here. Let's have a look. When were you released? Come on, see if I can beat you to it. You're typing 2010. I was right. Yo. It's such a good family game. And you could put Lost Cities, the board game, here as well, I suppose. But my preference goes to Celtis Das Oracle. It's just such a good family game. It just makes me very happy. it's such pure board game. It's such a pure like board gaming experience, and it's light and it's easy to play with people. I just love it so much. I just think it's a really good game to play with the family and with new board gamers at Christmas. It's a really good game to bring out. That's why I've chosen it.
In your opinion, does it work with 2?
If I've only got 2 players, I would play Lost Cities.
Okay, then I'm not getting this. I haven't played it, but I've looked at it many times.
It's great.
The years,
if you can pick it, I picked my copy up for like 10 quid, but like for 10, but it's difficult. But it's cheaper. You can find it, but it's also very difficult to find often, especially in Britain. It was anyway. But
yeah,
I played it with 3, and it's really good at 3. I've never played it at 2 because I never think to play it at 2. But I'm sure it will be good at 2. But I kind of feel like if you're at 2, you can play. There's so many like you can play Lost Cities, for instance, which is one of my favorite games. I mean, Lost Cities is one of my favorite games of all time. So that's my choice. What's your number 2?
All right, my number 2 is a game that this year will be the 3rd year in a row that we will probably play this. It's kind of a tradition, and this is Lupin Louis.
Oh yeah,
and we meaning with the kid also. Every year she is a bit better with the timing.
Yeah.
This year she might actually be able to somehow be able to compete in this. But this is a crazy game where there's a rotating flyer or a pilot flying the plane and trying to hit the chickens, and you have to bounce him off from your chickens to hit the other people's chickens, and this is just craziness. And I've played it with adults and I've played it with the family, and we usually play 5 games in a row in a Christmas, and this is definitely a Christmas game for me, although there's nothing Christmassy in it.
I'm sure you can find some kind of Christmas. There's a lot of versions of it, right? Well, like Lupin Chewy as well is a version, I think.
And it seems that there is Bambus in Goofy.
Yeah.
I have no idea what this is.
I've never played Lupin Louis, but it's a game that I always see like when I go to second-hand shops and stuff. It's always in. It's always there. I might just pick a copy up because I know I'll be able to find a copy of this for like £3. So I should just pick up a copy because my niece is getting to an age where she could press the button, and enjoy that. And yeah, but I think those kind of games that you can play, like I could have put like Pitch Car on this list, or I'm trying to think. There's so many like those games where you can just set it up and play it silly fun with your family, and this kind of feels like it fits that bill a lot.
Yeah, exactly. You just need batteries.
You just need batteries.
Yeah.
And hope that.
And the only negative thing in this game is the box. It's very bad.
In what way?
It breaks. It's this toy box that you open from one end. It's this. They are not good for games.
I know what you mean.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Oh, because it got like a cellophane, like plastic cover as well, so you can see inside the box. Because that's.
No, this one doesn't. But it's this box that you open, and when it's open, if something touches it, it will squeeze. It's
not
I know what
you mean.
Yeah. It doesn't have a lid. The box should have a lid, in my opinion.
It's just, we've come to expect a certain thing.
Yeah, but these are kids' games.
It's true.
They are making them.
The thing is, as well, it's like, I could pick up a new copy every year, I suppose, but I'd rather not do that. Anyway. All right. And number 1. My number 1. In brackets next to my number 1, it says the words, all trick-taking games.
Are you serious?
Yes, but my actual number 1 is The Crew. Because The Crew is my favourite game of all time. It's my favourite game.
Are you serious?
Yes. Just so you know. And I don't know what your opinion is on it, but
it's good.
It's my favourite game. And I love it, but I would put in place of this, because I could have filled this list with trick-taking games, frankly, but this is my placeholder for trick-taking games, because I just think those are just the best games to play with your family at Christmas.
That's
because true. If everyone knows how to play it, and I think simpler trick-taking games work better for this situation, so perhaps The Crew isn't actually the best example of this, frankly. Skull King might be, or something like that, or But
anything with a normal deck of cards
yes,
would be perfect.
or like diamonds, or I guess something like
Yeah.
that. But playing a simple trick-taking game with your family, or even like hearts or spades or something like that, you can just talk and have fun, and it's not actually about playing the game at all. It's about sitting down with your friends and family and spending quality time with them. Really, it's an excuse to do that. That's what trick-taking games are for me. But I love the Crew as a game. I think it's a brilliant game. But in place of this, I would say just playing a game with your family, trick-taking games like that. Like, there's nothing better at the holidays for me than playing a game like that, like a trick-taking game with my friends and my family. And I love that. One trick-taking game I actually would put on my underrated list is David and Goliath. Have you ever played that one?
No.
Oh, mate,
I've heard about
you've got to. It's you have to try it. It's so good. But that's not the point. Trick-taking games as well. I put it. Seriously, David and Goliath is amazing. But yeah, just the opportunity to spend time with your friends and family playing trick-taking game, just playing cards and talking and catching up and laughing and quality time with people. It's the best thing to do. I think that's the best. That's my ideal Christmas, is doing that kind of thing. So that's why I put all trick-taking games. I've put the Crew as my number one.
All right, Crew is fine, but yeah, maybe something lighter.
Yes, I do agree with that. Yes,
can involve more talking. Crew is a bit. I wouldn't laugh with.
You
Crew.
are actually correct that the Crew is just the worst option that I could have put here, and I just wanted to talk about the Crew because I love it. But you are right; it's the wrong one. But yes.
Yeah. They have that also in Board Game Arena. We are in mission 14 there. It's really difficult with 5
I'm playing
players.
it a 5-player, and we've been playing it. We're on mission 25 now.
We are on 14, I think. It's really difficult and turn-based. We don't remember what cards have gone and everything. It's super difficult.
Yeah, you have to play. I think it's a very difficult game. I think at 5-player, it's considerably harder than it is at 4.
Yeah, we played it with 3 and it was really easy. We passed everything until 12 on the first try. Mm-hmm. We failed once, I think, and then we thought, no, we are not playing this with 3. But 5 is ridiculously difficult.
And what's your number one?
My number one is a game. I thought that what would be a good game that I would have memories. I thought that I should put backgammon on the list. Then I thought that it is not necessarily a game that makes me laugh all the time, but I play that quite a lot on the holidays. Mm-hmm. And then there is this Turkish game which is almost like Rumikub, I think it's pronounced. That is great. It's like a gin, I think, with cards. That is a great game, but I thought that my childhood memories are more important on a Christmas list. And I put road hockey to the first spot on the list. Have you ever played it?
How do you spell it?
It's a road hockey. It's a huge board, like an ice hockey rink. And then you have rods and you can move them forward and backwards, and the skater moves on the field, and then you can rotate it, and then it makes a shot. It's this.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly what you mean, yes.
It's this Stiga versions. I had it since I was a kid. But I don't have it at the moment. I had it for years, and every year, all the time, in Christmas and winter time, I was playing it. I've played it hundreds of times.
It's like those football games you play on the table, football kind of foosball games, in a sense, isn't it? Because you're moving the players around on the lines that they're on.
Yeah,
flicking.
Except that you're at the other ends, and you also have the goalkeeper there, and all the sticks are at your end, and you go forward, not sideways.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly right. It's back and forth rather than across. Yeah, you're right. This is
and you can twist them, so you can make like shots, high shots and low shots, and you can pass and make one-timers, and this is really, really.
I totally agree with you on this. 100%. I cannot say that I think I totally agree with this choice, because I would also put games like, and thinking now what's missing from my list, and we said pitch cart earlier, but I think games like Clask and those type of games are just perfect games to play at Christmas with people, because you can just You don't need to teach people how to play it. It's very obvious how to play almost straight away, and all those type of games are so timeless. I feel like I would like if I could afford one, I would get a Crokinole board for that reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, something like this is just so good at because it's a toy as well, right? It's great, very toy.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you. I would like to say I don't and argue with you, but I do totally agree with you on this. Yeah.
No, we had when I was a child. Every household had this or Corona, and Corona doesn't mean virus now. It's a square. It's like a billiard, but it's on a square board, and you hit discs. I don't know if it's outside of Finland or Sweden.
I'm familiar with this.
You put this potato flour on the wood so that the discs slide faster, and it's quite cool. Also, it was either that or this rod hockey in every household when I was a kid. At least what I know.
Yes, these
And these are great. Actually, thanks for mentioning Clask. I have to take it down from the shelf, on top of the shelf. This year I will try if the daughter can play it.
Because it's those type of games that are just so good for families, and because you can play with them with kids, and you can play them with like grandparents who don't want to learn something and all that. Yeah, it's because the trick taking game is really great with a family that plays trick taking games. But it's not necessarily something you want to teach a family who have never played any trick-taking games. It's not going to be the same kind of enjoyment. So, but something like this, or I think something like, I don't know, I would say something like Pitch Car or something like that. But Clask and those type of things.
Our favorite is Coco Crazy. Do you know where you shoot the rubber coconuts with the monkeys that look... I mean, rubber coconuts that look like
I love that game.
With the monkeys.
I absolutely
that is fantastic game.
Love that game. That would have been a perfect one for this list. Oh, we should totally redo our lists. I take it back. I'm going to put nothing but toys on my list because you're so right. I love that game.
But that's a great game. We even played it so that I was playing, my daughter was playing, and my father was playing, and my father is 80 already. And he won. He had never played it before, and we were like, what are you doing? Come on. We played this tens of times. How do you win?
It's so good as well because I actually played it at Dice Tower Con a few years ago, and everyone was playing serious games. Well, not serious. Everyone was playing like midweight Euros and stuff. And then me and Dan Hughes it was just the two of us as well. Like, we could have played anything. And me and Dan Hughes were just playing this. We're playing, there's lots of different, it's called lots of different things, but yeah, the coconut game. Yeah. And we were just having a really good time and just really enjoying being very silly, flinging coconuts in quotes at each other, and it was it's great. It's really, really good, and you can get a couple sets of it, and you can play with you could play like mega games if you wanted to, I suppose.
Yeah, a friend of mine has 2 sets, and he plays with. I mean, he's able to play with 8. Yeah. And if you buy this from German Amazon, it's really, really cheap. It's really cheap.
It's a great... Yeah.
I have the German version for that reason.
Yeah, you don't need the rules. So, yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's brilliant.
No. And that friend of mine has 2 Finnish copies. He gave me the Finnish rule set. That here perfect. You go. So that was perfect.
These are good lists. I've not had any massive... I've had no massive disputes with you. And I was ready to argue with you, but... I think
you don't have anything bad either.
In the spirit of the list, I think we've actually had some really good choices.
Maybe we made someone merry. Maybe a listener thinks that we made them laugh. Or something.
Would be wonderful. I would say though that any game that you enjoy playing at Christmas is the right game for you to be playing at Christmas.
Yeah.
And what?
Yeah, even if it's Monopoly,
100%.
But don't fight.
Exactly, don't fight. But if your family wants to play Monopoly, then do that 100%. But the thing that you shouldn't do is like, oh, it's Christmas and I want to play a board game because I'm a big board gamer. Hey, sister or brother, I've got Teotihuacan and I really want to play it. And if they're not going to enjoy it, don't play it. Don't make them do it because they're not going to have a good time and it's not going to be a good time for anyone.
Yeah, but Cuba Libre is fine.
Yes, of course, yes. Cuba Libre. I mean, they're gonna love it. They just don't realise it yet.
But seriously, Andy and Abus was really, really good. I enjoyed it.
I want to play that one because it's 2 players, isn't it? That one.
That's 2, 3, or 4.
Oh, and I'm thinking of Colonial Twilight. That's the 2-player one, I think. Yeah. Or Bridges,
No, Twilight Struggle is good, by the way. I've played that as well. I have that. It's really, really
I played
good.
the app and I've just been destroyed by the AI like 4 times in a row, and I was like, no, I'm bad at this. I think it's really worth thinking about this type of games in this type of way sometimes, because I can get really caught up in wanting to play like serious in quotes, like quotation marks, like games. But sometimes just playing silly party games and silly games is just so much fun, and I just think it's really nice to remember that sometimes that games are meant to be fun.
Yeah, that's true, and they are supposed to make you laugh.
Yes,
and have fun times, not seriously hitting your fist to the table and asking that, why did you take that place?
I just needed one more coal for my whole system to work.
Yeah. Or getting crazy when you roll 10 dice and all of them are ones when you want 6s. Like in Arkham Horror usually.
Yes, that will happen. I mean, if it happens in Can't Stop, you're having a great time. Obviously, that's perfect.
That's true. I actually forgot Snow Tales from this list, but then I thought that it doesn't always make me happy because that's a bit difficult at times.
It's a good game though. I do like that as far as racing games go.
Yeah.
I think Snow Tales is a fun one. I think this might be an underrated racing game. I think Downforce
definitely
could have been on this list as well. For me, Downforce is one of my favorite. It's my favorite racing game, and it doesn't matter who wins the race. It's all about the betting essentially, and that makes it less competitive in some kind of way, I suppose. And it's a really, and it plays 6 people, and the best way to play it is with 6 people, and that would have been a good one for this list as well. Just so many. It's nice that there are so many games that I just really love and really enjoy and make me happy. So I think that's a good problem to have.
And maybe you forget the GMT. No, but try them. They're good.
Oh well.
At least in my opinion, all of them I've played, I've enjoyed. My favorite racing game is probably Quest for El Dorado.
I've got that. I've not played it yet, and I want to play it a lot.
Do you have the old version or the new version?
I have a version, and I do not know if it's old.
Does it have Vincent Dutrait artwork on the cover?
I don't think it does. It doesn't.
Then it's the old one.
I don't know if that version is available in Britain. I've seen it. Maybe it is. But now
If the Finnish Lautapelit, at least, the publisher published it in the summer.
It looks really
and it was multilingual,
nice.
I think. It is so cool.
It looks really lovely. I've got the Ravensburger version. And
I have that too, with the expansion.
Yeah.
It's great.
I only ever hear good things about it, so I'm interested. I want to play it.
Yeah. Also, Flamme Rouge is growing on me for some reason.
Flamme Rouge is good.
I didn't like it much on the first play, but every time I play it again, it seems better and better because it's so easy to teach. So easy to teach.
I like, for racing games, one game that I really love is Winner's Circle. Rainer Knizia.
Yeah, I haven't played that.
It's really, really fantastic. And is it called Ave Caesar? Which one? I always get them confused.
Yeah, Ave Caesar. It's like Downforce in a way, but you can run out of cards.
Yes, it's fun. I do like that one though as well.
Yeah, I have it on the sell pile because I don't get it.
I think it's dated. I think it's dated as far as racing games go, but it is a good game. But Winner's Circle, oh man, it's called Royal Turf. Sometimes it's the same game.
No, I haven't played that.
It's good, mate. It's really, really good. All right.
I'm interested in this Unicorn Fever actually. It looks cool. But yeah. Thank you for joining. What do you think? Who will win? Because this list will go to a battle in Instagram and Twitter. Which one will win?
I think you're gonna win. I would vote for your list. I think your list was. I don't know. I know you had some really good choices on there, and the toy factor of a few of your choices. I think more people are going to agree with your list than my list. But I'm hopeful that people will see that I'm right, even though I'm not convinced I'm right. I think yours was a better list.
Yeah, but with the list so far, it's happened that it's a popularity contest, and Finns don't vote or they don't say anything. They only say something if there's something wrong. So I don't get any. No, but that's
I can
true.
imagine.
I don't have even one review. I don't get comments. Friends say that no, it was fine. If something is wrong or missing, then people are saying
That's very indicative.
Finns are really ridiculous in that way.
I can see that. I think Americans are most likely to leave a review for positive.
Yes.
They see positive for positivity as well. And because I'm the same. I normally will just. My thing is, I think, who cares what I think? No one's going to care what I think, so I'm not going to end up leaving the reviews. Not because I don't like something, it's because I just think, oh, no one cares if I liked it or not. Though I've just done a top 9 list, though, I suppose. So.
Yeah, but it's been a popularity contest so far, and I haven't won any, I think. Maybe the first ones, I think I won. Well, but after that, no chance.
Well,
I don't get even one vote.
In that case, I'm going to enjoy the coming win. That's on its way to me.
101 or something, the votes. Do you want to add anything? It's a bit late. This ran a bit longer than we thought that it would run. But is there anything you want to add at the moment?
No, I think I'm good. I've had a good time though, and it's been fun.
Okay, that's good. That's the most important, that you are merry.
Yeah, I've come out of this merry, so it's worked. So there we go. You got me.
That's great. Now you have more energy to do what you still have to do today.
Yes, I forgot that I had to do it, and now I feel bad again. But yeah.
Okay. No, you don't need to go and rest and relax. It's already evening. It's almost midnight here at least, and dark there too. Don't go out. There might be dangerous if you're anywhere near a city in UK.
Yeah, which is unfortunate. But yes, I don't live near many people. But yeah, I could do.
Yeah, maybe that's good.
Yes,
also.
It is.
If people want to find you from somewhere, where can they find you?
Best way to find me is by typing Matthew Jude into Twitter, probably. But you can find me on YouTube at the moment. This Game is Broken's YouTube channel, or on Watch It Played. And you can find my podcasts, which is This Game is Broken. You can search for that, or if you like Monsters, Mysteries, and the Unknown as well. We did a whole episode about Scandinavian Christmas horror, frankly, and we did, so that was fun, and that's Death by Monsters, which you can find as well. Just type that into the internet, I'm sure you can find it. And that's me, pretty much everyone.
Did you watch the Rare Exports movie for that?
No.
It's the Finnish movie that was kind of a cult hit. They catch a Santa in that, and you should watch it.
Oh man,
you might like it.
Tell me what it is. Send me a link to it, and I probably will watch it. That sounds like fun.
Yeah, it's a bit different.
I'm into
Christmas
it.
Movie.
I'm into it. I'm already into it. I'm excited.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much for joining me, and bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you for listening. You can find this podcast from SoundCloud with username Mitä Pelataan. You can also find the podcast from Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Should be in Amazon Podcasts also at some point. And it should be found anywhere you listen to your podcasts. You can find me from Instagram and Twitter with username Mitä Pelataan. There's a page in Facebook, Mitä Pelata. And you can just search by Mitä Pelataan and you should find me from many places. I have a blog, mitapelataan.wordpress.com, where you can find information about this channel and all the links to related media. You should be able to find me from YouTube as well by searching Mitä Pelataan. You can send me email to mitapelataan@gmail.com. There's also a guild in Boardgame Geek, number 3320. Interact in any way you can, comment anything, up to you, but interact with me please. And if you listen this far, please leave a review, subscribe so that people find out about this podcast. And one more time, thank you for listening, and bye bye. The music used in this series was Nightwalker by Sentient Pulse. Thank you for that.